Definitely an outstanding ride today. Crossing from one mountain range to another. This is definitely the best riding day yet on this trip.
This kind of road doesn't see that much traffic from anybody, so for GSs, it's perfect.
The Quimsa Cruz mountain range lies at the northern end of Bolivia's tin belt. Most of the mines are gone, but the roads remain, making the region accessible for modern explorers.
There were hundreds and after hundreds of miles of these roads that were the most treacherous things I've ever seen. 1,000, 2,000 foot drop-offs, maybe 4 to 8 feet wide and covered in rocks. So you're coming down on your rear brake, trying to make these corners, and you know if you make one small mistake, see you later. Clearly, adventure bike riding in environments like this is a hazardous activity. That's part of the beauty. That's part of what makes this so much fun, because it's so all-consuming and so much in the moment.
We're at 9,500 feet. There's some really interesting plants growing here, desert-like cactuses and shrubs. It just seems kind of weird to see cactuses growing.
We just finished a big drop into the canyon between the Cordillera Real and the Quimsa Cruz, and now we're going to cross the bridge, and then we're going to climb up into the Quimsa Cruz range and Araca, and then to TENERIA.
We've just gone down one of the steepest sets of switchbacks I've ever ridden, and we are now running along the edge of this absolutely ragged cliff. But this is, man, this is the epitome of what we talk about and hope to show people is what adventure riding is all about. This is the epitome. This is a main road in Bolivia. So it's not like you're seeking dirt, it's simply the fact if you want to go from point A to point B, this is what you got. So you got to have skills, you got to be comfortable with it, you got to have a little nerve, because these cliffs are 1,000 feet down.
This is very possibly the best ride I've ever had.
I agree.
Me too.
This is epic. Epic is an overused word. But there's just, it is an overused word, but there just aren't that many adjectives left, and this is effing incredible.
The ride through the Quimsa Cruz takes the team through some of the most spectacular scenery that Bolivia has to offer. By nightfall, they reached their destination, exhilarated from an adventurous day.
That's the most spectacular 50K of mountains and dirt roads I've ever seen in my life. Mind-boggling. Up over a mountain, down to a river, up over a mountain. Then those mountains cleared with the glaciers on them. Look down and see the road coming up. It's crazy. Oh, it's unbelievable. I think it's the most beautiful stuff we've seen so far.
We're in TENERIA. TENERIA is a ranch, and it's owned by the Hans Hess family. Hans was born here on the ranch about 80 years ago, and he went back to Germany, and he came back, and he basically has been living here with his family for generations.
¿Qué edad tiene tu casa?
600.
600 years old is the house. Y estas palmeras?
Las palmeras deben tener 100.
100-year-old palm trees.
Sí.
Bien, ¿y vos?
Yo 80.
80.
This used to be owned by his father and his grandfather, and it's basically a farming community. And they host people here. People come here, stay, spend a night or a day or two, or use it as a base camp, and they go trekking or climbing up into the Quimsa Cruz range. Or they come here and buy 4x4 or bikes or quads or whatever, and they stay a day or so, and then continue down the mountains. We spent the night and we had breakfast, and we're all suited up now, and we're going to head off to the Altiplano today. Once we get to the pavement, it'll be a short segment to Patacamaya, pavement, but we're going to turn off, make a left, head south at Curahuara de Carangas. After Curahuara, it's all going to be dirt. Head all the way down to this town called Toledo, and then going to make a right and go to the city of Stone. So we should get there roughly same hour as we did yesterday. Bolivia offers an amazing amount of territory and terrain from the Amazon to the Andes. It has most of its land mass is in the Amazon, but the most adventurous parts are in the Andes, between the Royal Mountain Range and the Quimsa Cruz Range and the western edge of the volcanic range bordering on Chile and Peru.
The Altiplano is a highland plateau that occupies parts of Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, and Peru. This is where the Andes Mountains are at their widest, and it's the most extensive high plateau on Earth outside of Tibet.
I think the expedition that is happening right now is one of those kind of trips that you never know what's going to happen. It's an adventure in many different respects, and you get to see a bunch of different cultures and geography and experience the weather and the people and the food. So it's one of those trips, just like, you know, if you would go down from the top of Africa to the bottom of Africa. It's an epic trip, and I think if you can somehow manage it, swing it, or do it with friends or with a company that has experience with it, I'd say save up, save the time, and do it.
So this ride is why we came here. I mean, this type of stuff, we just don't get to find this type of drama any place in the world. I was hoping we'd hit this, and we did.
Yeah. Oh man, we're coming right up to a crest. We got a pass here. Wow. Oh man, check this view out. Nice.
Wow.
The original plan had the group riding over a pass into the Quimsa Cruz mountain range. Because of the team's slow progress, they only make it to the pass and then turn around.
We did an hour-and-a-half detour to film us in kind of hero posing in front of a mountain. I think we should film what we're doing, not do stuff to film, right? So if we're just doing stuff to film, fine. But we shouldn't be doing it. We're trying to document the actual experience to get from the top of the continent to the bottom. We're exploring the back roads. We certainly don't need to go on any of these roads to get to Ushuaia, but we're trying to get a compromise. But to just go up and back for the photograph struck me as being a bad use of our time.
Yeah, I had no idea that that's what we were going to do, and I think the group would have felt better about it if we'd have known that we're going to go up to a peak and make a turnaround.
I have no regrets about going up there and doing that. Listen, but the compromise is it's going to be late, or we're going to have to cut the day short, and I think it was a good compromise. So listen, we just experienced one of the most beautiful places on earth, and I'm glad to get to do it.
I think we're a long way from a paved road.
What time do you think we'll make it in tonight?
If we make it by 6:30, I'd be surprised. But it is what it is.
When you travel 10,000 miles through 6 foreign countries and through roads and seeing scenery that you've never been through before, you can't predict your hours. You just can't. And so riding in the dark's part of the game sometimes. It does not bother me.
The group is camped out in a barren field a couple of miles from a paved highway. Last night, a local family visited their campsite, and they've returned this morning. For some reason, they seem fascinated with Evan washing the dishes.
Warm water rinse and a bleach water finishing process.
Jorge thought it might be possible that we could go to the school and give out some soccer balls, but we can't because of our timeline. But we are going to give the local school 3 soccer balls to sort of give the kids something, a little bit of fun to play with. You're welcome. You're welcome. So he's taking them over to the school?
Okay. He will take it to the school. Perfect. Muchas gracias.
My rear shock absorber blew a seal and lost all its oil, and I'm hoping that our contact in La Paz is going to be able to rebuild the shock. So it adds to the adventure value. I just don't know. I'll be separated and on my own here for anywhere from 2 to 6, 7, 8 days, whatever.